Hey everybody, it's David with No Chaser, and it's been a little while since I've done a video. I've been busy. I've been busy with life. And this brings me to my topic of sobriety and recovery, and then you get busy with life. And sometimes recovery goes by the wayside. So I got this new job. It's a social work job. I'm back to um, trying to do good in the world. And the funny thing is that like I'm still going to my meetings, I'm still doing all this type of stuff, but I know that there's a lot of people out there. I've seen this a lot too, where a lot of people like I've been with like have gone through treatment and stuff like that, where they get their footing and they get like time and space to like really heal, and things are going good, and like the forward momentum is going and things are progressing, and it's like, all right, yeah, I'm digging this, things are good. And then you just get back into life though, and mainly like you get back into work, because work is like, if you don't stay at home and raise your children, um maybe you do like a part-time thing where you raise them and you work part-time, but like if you think about it, if you work full-time, that is what you're doing with most your waking hour, is your work. I mean, so if you hate your job, that's kind of sad in a way. Hopefully your passions, hopefully you can, like, the idea that you're supporting your family is making up for it. Anyways, but like the thing is that I know so many people that are super gung ho into recovery, like they're restarting their life. Usually they either have been unemployed or they lost their job or something of the sort, or they've, um, the job actually was good enough to like recognize that addiction, alcoholism is a thing, and we'll take you back. Which is so crazy to say, we'll take you back. That's one of those things where it's like stigma is not about like people thinking of alcoholics and addicts as like junkies or drunks. That's not like the real argument of us about stigma. Real argument of stigma is that like if a person needs to take 30 days off because they have to go to treatment, how acceptable is that? How much can society like digest that without being like, well, I don't think that's fair. I'd like to take 30 days off. I don't know. I won't get into that whole thing. But anyways, so you're feeling good about your recovery. Everything's going great, going good. And then you get back into work. Get back into, actually, this topic was going to be about being busy with life, but I think I'm just going to do it honestly, just about being busy with work. Like it's kind of crazy, but like if you think about it, so many people, because I recognize there was so many times where I had relapse because, not because of work like made me relapse, but I was driving and things were going good, and then like I was trying to make my recovery and my life and my work schedule all meshed together, and it wasn't quite happening, and that friction there was like slowly was making things erode. I was trying to make like work and recovery fit together in a way that is feasible and good. And what does that mean? Like work and recovery. Like you go to meetings, you know, um, you hang out with sober friends. Like some people, if like you're in the 12 steps, you talk to your sponsors, so all stuff like that. Like so, for instance, I had a long day of work. I have a meeting tonight. I'm like, I don't want to go. Like I'm tired. I don't feel like going. But the thing is that I know I need to go, and time is now much more. It has much more weight to it, and so now it becomes, because it's easy. Like when I was, you're on FMLA, um, or short-term disability, or you have a life to where you can schedule differently, so where you can kind of like go to meetings and you don't like, your life is not super basically like truncated with work. There's not like you're not working a lot. But when you are, and then when you get off work, and the last thing you want to do is just like go to another meeting, that's where the rubber meets the road, as they say. Man, I should have thought of something better. That's where the rubber meets the chicken that crossed the road. That was bad. But so I was thinking about it, and I was just like, okay, I know I have to go to a meeting. I'm gonna go to a meeting. Fine. Doing recovery. That's great. But what I'm talking about is not quite just that. It's not just like, okay, can I fit in doing meetings and recovery stuff? That because actually that's pretty easy. The other part is that being content with life and work. Because the thing I was alluding to earlier, like, what if you hate your job? If you hate your job, that means you hate what you do most your waking hour, which is terrifying to think about. And I've been in that situation before. And so you think about the normal person, their options are they grind through it, they immerse themselves in just like other stuff to distract them from the harsh reality that is their life, that it's unsatisfying. Or they change, they go, I can't do this anymore. They get a different job, they go a different way, they do something different. But alcoholics and addicts, we have another option. We can drink and do drugs. And that makes us content with our life. That I say life in quotes because it's not really a life, because it just makes you content with your situation. And then I've done this before. You just kind of stay at your job. And then you're all of a sudden, maybe you should have been prompted to move or do something different. But no, I'm just kind of chill. I'll drink after work. That's my reward. Or I'll do drugs or drink at work. That's what I did during like my sales days. And you all of a sudden find yourself like putting up with something you wouldn't have if you were sober. Because I remember one time, I'm talking about when I was drinking on the job when I was working sales. I remember I got sober, and I was sober for a while. I was working this job, and I was like, holy shit, I cannot do this job sober. So I have to get a new job or start drinking again. I didn't want to start drinking again, but I was like, I can't do this. And I came to that realization. And I think so many people run into that sort of intersection of life where they find out that, oh no, if I'm not like numbing myself or self-medicating, I can't do what I do for a living and keep sane. Or I can't do what I do for a living and be content. And so where do you go from there? And so I've been busy and I have a job that I like. It's important to me, and it seems crazy. I am actually a human trafficking specialist. I help people out that are have been trafficked. It's part of this. It's not part of the government, but it's a nonprofit, and I help them basically in a time of refuge where they need to restart their lives and they need resources. Usually they are in fear of their lives. They have nowhere to go. Usually abusers and things like that, they purposely like cut off all forms of help or safety valves that they possibly have. And so we are that sort of liaison that like, what do you do with a person that I don't have anywhere to go? I don't have a job right now. I need to live, but I'm on the run. What do I do with my life? And we are kind of that refuge to help them jumpstart into a life. So I'm good with that. But what do you do if you're not good with that? And I've been stuck in that so many times where I knew that either I had to quit and do something different, or I was going to start drinking again, using again. Um, and I like, you still struggle. That's not to say that like a job. This is, by the way, not to say a job is going to fix your recovery, like, or is it going to fix your addiction or anything like that. But I think it's something that just needs to be considered so much. That's not talked about a lot. Is like what you do for a living is a big part of your life, and so you need to consider that as far as, is it helping you stay sober, or do you gotta do something else? I don't know. Again, I'm just a guy in a room with a phone.